Welcome to Rivenspire. So this trip turned out to be far shorter and far more fortuitous than I expected. That's assuming you're up to the challenge, of course. If you haven't noticed, Rivenspire's caught up in a civil war as bloody as old Rancer's rebellion. This time it's Baron Montclair. He's apparently decided he'll be the king of Shornhelm, whether the rest of the noble houses like it or not. Sure did. Bastard bribed the city guard, attacked the other nobles, and seized half of Shornhelm. Now Montclair's troops are all over, and the Shornhelm guard's getting its buttocks kicked. So, want to help me save the kingdom? Think of the glory. It'll be just like Rancer's war. We'll rescue Rivenspire and the women will swoon. It'll be great, you'll see. Go on to Shornhelm's chapel and tell Countess Tamrith I recruited you to the cause. I'll be along as soon as I can. What makes tyrants do any of the things they do? Ambition? Glory? I certainly don't know. What I do know is that Montclair's forces have taken half the capital, and will soon take the rest of it unless the Shornhelm Guard gets some help. Baron Wylan Montclair. Not much to say, really. Before this, he shared rule with two other noble houses, Dorel and Tamrith. Countess Tamrith says they were never very close, but she certainly wasn't expecting him to start a war. She's the head of one of the noble houses, young, but smart, and very devout. I'm told she studied in Stormhaven, and has Emmerich's favor. She's not unattractive either, but she is my current employer, so I try not to notice. It was quite the talk of Tamriel at the time. Surprised you don't know about it. It was over 10 years ago. Our beloved High King insulted King Rancer of Shornhelm over some minor indiscretion. Rancer reacted poorly and declared war on Wayrest. If you can call it that. Lasted about a year. Just long enough for Emmerich's troops to get a little exercise. When it was over, Rancer was dead and peace was restored to the kingdom. The triumvirate of nobles has been running Rivenspire ever since. A little of this, a little of that. Lending my sword to just causes, flirting with the ladies. I've drank in every inn and tavern between here and Glenumbra. And I've beat my friend Scordo at cards every chance I get. It's great to see.
Yeah. Help me. You there, please. Yeah. You must help me.
Well,
Fine goods. Yeah.
You sent the guard west to chase a rumor? We need those troops to protect Shornhelm.
Only some of them, Baron. My father would have done the same. Captain Genevieve will discover the truth and report back.
Countess, Baron, please. We must remain focused. As long as Montclair controls the upper city, the whole region remains at risk.
How can we trust you, Count Ravenwatch? Your friendship with Montclair is well known. What did you offer those captains to betray us?
I care for the Count even less than you, Baron, but he hasn't done anything to warrant such accusations. Yet.
We must end this debate and take action. Make an example of the two traitors and retake the upper city. How can the two of you not see that?
I do not disagree, Baron, but we need to proceed with caution. There is more to this situation than meets the eye. I know I make you both nervous. Perhaps we should continue this after our blood has cooled?
Mind your tempers, gentlemen. We have a visitor. Come forward, friend, and state your business.
Bah! You both try my patience. I can almost understand what drove Montclair to abandon our triumvirate.
I returned to Shornhelm after my father's death to find a city divided and our land in peril. Baron Dorell means well, but he'd rather rush forward than take a moment to examine the path ahead. But what brings you to Rivenspire, friend? Of course, the light provides as always. Baron Montclair is changed. We need to find out what has driven him to this perilous course of action. A letter? A journal? We need something to give us more insight into why he has betrayed us. 2 Shornhelm Guard officers. They defected to Montclair's side and helped him take over the upper city. Look for Orlazog Grayarzal and Juberg Gain. Perhaps you can deal with these traitors and discover Montclair's motivations. Baron Dorell can tell you more. Ambitious? I suppose he was no more or less so than any house noble. My father never liked the man, though. But to change so drastically? To put innocent people in harm's way? I pray for the wisdom to understand our foe. I suppose he hopes we will surrender and agree to his terms, but that's not going to happen. Neither House Tamrith nor House Dorell will give in to such outrageous demands. And I know the High King won't allow such treachery to go unpunished. The Baron sees me as a child, and I find him to be a pompous ass. Light grant me patience. I know that he wants to appear strong, in control, but we need to peer into the shadows and determine what has led to Montclair's bold actions. House Ravenwatch is an old Rivenspire family. As for Verandis, I do not like the man. Be that as it may, and despite his long friendship with Montclair, the Count seems genuine in his willingness to help. He cares deeply about our people.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Blowhard Dorrell sent you, didn't he? Or was it sweet Tamrith? Whoever it was, they sent you to die.
Hey, you there! A little help here. Damn Montclair bastards caught me snooping around. If you unlock this cage, I'll be your best friend for life. I needed some quiet time. What do you think I'm doing in here? I went and got myself captured. I'm one of the Shornhelm Guard. Look, let me out of this cell, and I can help you. Good question. You shouldn't. But that doesn't mean we're not on the same side. I bet they sent you to find information about Montclair. Open the cell and I'll tell you what I know. I appreciate the help. You're all right in my book. Now I need to report back to Baron Dorel.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Light it up!
Did those fools Dorel and Tamrith send you? Let me show you the power I've gained since joining House Montclair.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
What news do you bring from the upper city? Have the traitors been dealt with? Damn. Montclair's Argonian is as crazy as an outhouse skeever. His soldiers kidnapped a few nobles, grabbed them in broad daylight. Probably hopes to use them as insurance against us. But he must realize that I never negotiate with terrorists. Then we have to act fast. Go to the Mews and free Lady Aurene Tamrith, Nethan Albergama, and Sir Estienne Gillen. If you can take out Riz Al Jul along the way, all the better. In the meantime, we'll mobilize the Shornhelm Guard and retake the upper city.
This Riz Al Jul seized nobles. Such brazen acts must not be tolerated, Baron.
Indeed. It is time to act, Countess. No more talk. No more debate.
How can we walk in the light if we leave innocent townsfolk to languish? Wait, are you agreeing with me?
Don't look so shocked, Isolde. It was bound to happen eventually. Our friend will go to the Mews to free the hostages and stop the reinforcements while we assault the upper city. A two-pronged approach.
Well, all right then. Baron, if you would, give the command and rally the Shornhelm Guard.
It will be my pleasure. It's time to show those Montclair cowards what it means to betray the people of Rivenspire.
One moment, friend. I may know something about the fevered Mews. The fevered Mews? I haven't thought about that place since I was a child. It's a ravine beyond the upper city. It's been sealed off for years. They used to send the ill and infirm there. Those afflicted with the plague, Khajiit fever, Argonian leprosy, things like that. But that was a long time ago. It's a dank old place. Oh, I remember now. The sewers! You can sneak through the old sewer tunnel. It leads to right near the entrance of the fevered Mews. The ravine is riddled with small caves, as I recall. There's an even older section, an ancient ruin. If this Argonian is using a portal to bring reinforcements into the city, I suspect those ruins would make a proper staging ground. Did you hear that someone purged the corruption from the Weird Tree?
Not so fast, my friend. You don't have to deal with this on your own. I assume you have come to rescue the nobles and stop Montclair's reinforcements. But if Riz Al Jul is here, you shouldn't have to face him alone. I am not without resources of my own. When I discovered that Montclair had left the city and heard that the nobles had been taken captive, it wasn't difficult to ferret out the mad Argonian's hiding place. I have loyal associates. Let's leave it at that for the time being. Suffice to say, we have nothing but Rivenspire's best interests at heart. Now, let's go rescue those nobles. Well, the Argonian, he has been at Montclair's side for a long time. He is a skilled warrior and an alchemist. I believe he may also have darker interests, including necromancy. Understand this. Riz Al Jul is powerful and not quite sane.
send someone for me. He's the ambassador from Alakir. Did I mention that? Baron Montclair and his Argonian general, Rivenspire, attacked the nobles of Shornhelm. This is an outrage.
Prayed that I wouldn't be left to that lizard's torture. They poked and prodded me. I'm of House Tamrith. How dare they?
Argonian, Rivenspire, said he would turn me into a powerful creature. Why would I want that? Ah, sweet freedom. Thank you so much for coming to my rescue.
I'm surprised Baron Dorel didn't accompany you here. He's never been one to shy away from getting his hands bloody in defense of house and country. Shornhelm's stability affects all of Rivenspire. If Montclair and his allies take over the city, I fear all of Rivenspire would soon fall. And then they would look beyond our borders. He's always fancied himself the true heir to Rance's throne. I usually leave politics to the other nobles. I prefer to deal quietly with the more unusual problems. As for the why of things, call it an obligation. But now is not the time to discuss the past. I suspect that Rivenspire is behind that stone door, along with his portal. We need to stop him from bringing through more reinforcements.
No time to deal with these fools. Kill them! Kill them all!
Feel the magic. There's a portal close by. We need to close it before we're overrun by more Montclair soldiers. I should be able to close the portal. It won't take me more than a few seconds. There. That should keep them out. Shornhelm will be safe now. I shall begin my research at once, try to determine where Rivenspire has gone. In the meantime, you should seek out the High King. With the portal closed, we stopped Rizal Jul from sneaking more Montclair troops into the city. It is frustrating, though, that Rizal Jul slipped away. That Argonian is sly and cowardly. No, and that's what worries me. He must be tracked down and dealt with swiftly. Thanks to your efforts, though, Montclair's plan to take control of Shornhelm has been stopped. You should inform High King Emmerich and the other nobles. According to my sources, he was close before I entered the Mews. I have no doubt that the Shornhelm Guard has reclaimed the upper city. I assume Dor-El, Tamrith, and the High King are even now in Shornhelm Castle. Give Emmerich my regards.
Yeah!
I'm so hungry.
Here we have the savior of Shornhelm, I presume. You should know that Baron Dor-El and Countess Tamrith have been quite generous in their praise of you. I trust you were able to close this portal Montclair was using to bring in reinforcements? I'm not surprised. Verandis and I go back many years. He has a habit of making people nervous, but I've been trying to reassure Baron Dor-El and Countess Tamrith he is loyal to the people of Rivenspire. Did you also defeat this Rizal Jul? Then I suppose we'll have to track him down, he and Montclair both. I fear Montclair's ambitions may be far greater than simply conquering all of Rivenspire. It's better we stop him now. Thanks to you, we have an excellent start here in Shornhelm, and I will devote my resources to fortifying the city as quickly as possible. We're secure here now, and we have to ensure it remains that way. If Rizal Jul, thanks to you, we... Shornhelm may be secure, but reports from other parts of the kingdom suggest Montclair is stirring up trouble everywhere. Countess Tamrith and Baron Dor-El will each take a detachment of the Shornhelm Guard and go investigate these reports. As you might have guessed, I'm thinking you are best suited for tracking down Rizal Jul and making sure he doesn't go opening any more portals into Shornhelm. Did Verandis perhaps mention any suspicions of where this rat may have scurried off to? Then I suggest you join him. Knowing Verandis, he's returned to Ravenwatch Castle to study whatever evidence he may have found. You'll find it west of the city near the town of Crestshade. I'm counting on the two of you to stop Rizal Jul, and soon. I should warn you, Ravenwatch Castle is as strange as the man who owns it. His family is very old and they have strange traditions. Don't worry, though. I have no doubt about the fact that he's on our side. You may rely on anything he says. Of course, I'm a veritable treasure trove of useless information, and I love to share. I've known Count Ravenwatch since I was a boy. My father even sent me to study with him for a time. House Ravenwatch is one of the oldest noble houses of Rivenspire. Quite a legacy, and Verandis carries it well. Well, if you must know, he's part of the reason I'm wearing this crown. When I first proposed to form the Covenant, many people opposed me. Verandis, however, without any urging, supported my plans and helped sway opinions in my favor. I think he did it because he was tired of bloodshed, and he knew he could trust me to always work toward peace. If I can end this conflict and restore it here, I will consider my debt to Verandis paid in full. As long as it takes. I knew that having the noble houses share the throne wouldn't last. I should have chosen one of them to rule years ago. To be honest, I feel I'm partly to blame for all of this, and it's my duty to be here and see it resolved. The last time I brought an army to Rivenspire, it was to put an end to Rancer's war. That isn't a memory I want to reawaken in this region. Besides, it will be better for all concerned if Rivenspire resolves its own problems. Rumors and wild tales, for the most part. We did receive a dispatch from a Captain Janavi. Apparently something occurred in the town of Crestshade. Something devastating enough to require the captain to set up a camp for refugees. Very little. It's a small town at the foot of the Western Mountains. Since you're heading in that direction to see Verandis, perhaps you can look in on Crestshade. I'd be grateful if you can determine what actually happened out there.
How about a coin or two?
Yeah! Yeah! Yeah!
Have you seen the Countess?
Yeah! 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 Yeah!
If you're headed to Crestshade, you need to know. There was trouble there.
Yeah! Yeah! Yeah!
Crestshade, you need to know. There was trouble there.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're headed to Crestshade, you need to know. There was trouble there. A bit of bruising and a few broken ribs won't stop me from getting my report to Shornhelm. I've got to let my superiors in House Tamrith know what happened at Crestshade. Crestshades a small mountain town. Captain Genevieve heard some alarming rumors and sent us to investigate. Turns out a mad Argonian came out of Doomcrag and unleashed a blood curse on the town. We sent refugees from the town south to meet Captain Genevieve at Camp Tamrith, but the mayor of Crestshade refused to leave. Said she had to save her people. She begged us to warn Shornhelm. If she's still alive, she could use some help. I'll feel better knowing I didn't leave the mayor of Crestshade completely on her own. Remember, head into town and look for the mayor's house. I think Crestshade is doomed. Some of the refugees kept going on and on about a flesh-eating abomination. I'm not easily frightened, but whatever is loose in Crestshade, it made my skin crawl. Me? No, not personally. But I heard stories. It's some sort of freakish creature, cobbled together from living bodies and feasting on the blood of the townsfolk. At least that's the way I heard it described. Yes, calls himself Rezel Jewel. A real charmer, that one. He sent rocks tumbling down the mountain to seal the pass to Doomcrag, managing to destroy half of Crestshade in the process. Then he unleashed a blood curse on the town. He's insane. Be careful in there. I need to get to Shornhelm and give my report.
Yeah. So much yelling, so much screaming. I need to stay strong.
Guard!
Stay strong.
Why won't you help? We need help.
I can still hear my heart beating. Am I alive? What should I do?
Be gone, accursed thing! Oh, you're not a blood fiend.
Please, whoever you are, help us. Help the spirits of Crestshade. They tore our spirits from our living flesh. Rizal Jul unleashed a blood curse upon the town, turned some townsfolk into ravenous blood fiends. But that wasn't enough for him. He used magic and our living flesh to create an abomination. A part of me still lives within the creature. You must slay this abomination. As long as it lives, our spirits are trapped in this town. They keep the creature in the chapel crypt. I think they're feeding it, making it stronger. Soon, I fear, they will set it loose upon all of Rivenspire. Find the spirits of Tharlas and John. We can use our connection to the creature to lure it from the chapel crypt so you can kill it. We'll also need personal items to focus our energy through. My badge of office should work nicely. It should be in the tower where I worked. We made our stand in that tower, but we were overrun. I can still hear Riza Jul laughing as they dragged me away. That lizard's laugh haunts me. Perhaps it is simply our ties to this town. Or perhaps in our last hours, we found the strength to resist Rizal Jul and his minions. Scholar John's spirit may still be near his home, where he taught our children with patience and humor. Mage Tharlus' spirit may be at the inn. Bless her heart. She held off a horde of vampires to give a few people time to flee. I don't know. Days before, tremors shook the town, and then it was as though half the mountain fell upon us. When the dust cleared, we were set upon by vampires and that damn blood curse. I was able to get some people away, praise Arche. Sadly, no. Those of us stuck in this half-life, tied to the abomination, can sense each other. But the rest of the town was turned into those poor feral beasts. The ones who escaped, or found true death. Those are the lucky ones.
Where's my son? Help me, please! I need to find my son!
Yeah! 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 Can anyone hear me? What's happening? My blood boils, yet I feel no pain. Somebody, help me!
Forgive me. When I realized what they were doing to us, I tried to throw myself from this tower. From such desperation, I found the anger and strength to resist this torment. We must slay the flesh abomination. We can do this, together.
So cold. I can't imagine a worse fate than to be trapped here. Waiting, watching, feeling. That's the worst. I can feel my flesh. It craves destruction. It craves blood. The mayor is a good woman. Her spirit is strong. She has a good idea to use our spirits to draw out the creature. Our flesh remains alive while the abomination lives. Through this connection, we can call it to us. What's most important to an old scholar like me? My mind, I suppose. The blood fiends tore my body apart after using some of my flesh to create their abomination. My skull was tossed aside. It's got to be somewhere in the graveyard.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that one is definitely mine. I can feel it. We will pour every iota of our strength into those items. Take them to the crypts beneath the ruined chapel.
I don't know who I really am anymore. Part of me is still alive in agony. Part of that, abomination. If Rizel Jewel were in front of me right now, I swear my hate alone would tear that lizard to shreds. Of course, she's smart, our mayor. She knows we can focus our energy through personal items. Look for my staff at the small bridge nearby. We mounted a defense there, bought the mayor's husband the time he needed to get the refugees away. Receiving that staff was the greatest moment of my life. I'm a Red Guard. Magic doesn't come easily to my people, but I was drawn to it. I left Alakir and studied for years to earn that staff. I can focus all that I am and all that I was through it.
Yeah.